infinite wisdom of all life itself. Most beloveds don't consider themselves to be part of infinite wisdom, maybe holding that out as just belonging to God. But in the truth of love, the truth of God is within you. And so all wisdom is yours. Wisdom is not facts. Wisdom is not theory. Wisdom is beyond facts or theory. It is the intimacy of the universe. It is that everything within the universe is within you. What keeps anyone from meeting that wisdom, that truth of your inner world? A bridge is crossed into reality. But even getting to the bridge in this world is a factor that many have not even touched yet. But the bridge is when you truly begin to reject, not in anger, not in hatred, but in reality, you begin to reject what you thought you have been. You don't reject it by hating it. It simply begins to fall away because it is no longer considered of value. It no longer draws you to the world. In the innocence of your being is all wisdom. But wisdom isn't there to prove your worth. It's just the reality of your love. It's not there for entertainment. It's there as truth. And it is you. Your divine self is the wisdom of the universe. Your divine self is the innocence of creation. When you accept the perfection that is within you, there's no energy left to battle with. To be at peace within is to have confidence in the truth of love. Confidence. Your strength is in the truth of love. To meet that strength, to find that strength, is to be shedding all of the judgments of the past. There is no confidence available with judgment. Judgment is like being on a slip and slide. You don't know where you're going and you don't know where you'll end up. The entire journey that seems to be a journey of remembering is merely the relinquishment of all judgment. But remembering that the judgment isn't limited to a conscious thought, but everything that is of the world is valued or devalued, and all of that is judgment as well. It holds everyone as a prisoner of limitation and the belief that things have different values. How simple life can be and how beautiful and perfect when there is nothing to value, that everything is equally love. The only value is love, because it's the only thing that is real. And it is what you are. Can you open the heart to accept, without any qualifications, that all that you are was created? All that you are was given to you. That you are light, that you are innocence, that you are the wisdom of the universe. All of this was given to you because love has to be extended, and God extended love and created a divine spirit. All that you are is given to you. All I am, all I am, all I am is given to me. My mother gives to me, my father gives to me. All I am set free. I can forgive, I am forgiven. My mother gives to me, my father gives to me. I'm here to receive, I'm here to be forgiven. I will receive, I am forgiven. All I am, all I am, all I am is given to me. I'm here to receive. All I am, here to be given. All I am. Here to receive all that you are. All that you are is already completely intact. It's held for you until you're willing to remember the fullness of the beauty that you truly are, the acceptance. That's all that it is, an acceptance of what is already reality. I am the light. I am the truth of love. I am the child of the eternal love. I am one with the universe, and I am here in the name of love itself. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere where there are beloveds gathered. In the name of God, I am there. I am the light. I am the torch bearer. I am one with the master teacher and one with the Father, the child, and the Spirit. I am one with all redemption. I am one. Sou a vida, sou o caminho, eu sou o puro e eterno amor. Sou a chave da porta estreita que vos leva de volta ao Senhor. Estou aqui, eu estou lá, eu estou sempre em todo lugar. Onde estiver irmãos reunidos, em meu nome eu ali estou. Sou a luz, sou o teu cheiro, eu sou o mestre ensinador. Sou filho, sou pai, sou Espírito Santo, e sou vosso Redentor. What would happen to you if every morning this truth came through your heart and sang into the universe? I am life. I am one with all creation. I am the torchbearer. I am the light. That you can sing this through your heart and accept it, and then allow that acceptance to become manifest within your everyday life. Listen sometimes and hear the song that is playing just under the surface of your thoughts. When the thoughts become still, you can hear the music, because in truth, all of the divine beings that serve humanity's remembering, all of them are singing, constantly singing. They can't help it. It's not possible to be silent unless it's singing. Silence, even the silence of silence. There is a song. And it's all yours. It's all waiting to be accepted. The mind can play its games of no, or being distracted. But there is a beautiful teaching that reminds, that says, don't let the distraction keep pulling on you. And don't let the distraction say, well, I'm already in the distraction, I might as well continue. No, as soon as you possibly can, let go of the distraction and come back. Just come back. Return as quickly as you can to the intention of love. Let yourself come back. Why is it that I would say let yourself come back? Because there is a decider within that likes to pull you in the other direction. But you have a different place within the heart that is your love. And it is loving to you. Sometimes the ego convinces that it's fun to win, to be right, to win, to stay separate. But the truth is that that place that seems so satisfying in its rebellion is not loving at all. It's just not recognized as a self-attack. Love calls to you. Don't be afraid of the love that calls to you. It is completely the truth of who you are. So when you reject love and when you fight against love in any way, you're fighting against your divine self. And in a subtle place within, there is a choice being made that chooses out of habit, chooses out of fear. But don't believe that it is your friend or that it brings you anything of value. Its entire intention is pain. And it thrives in fear. But it is not your friend. Your friend is the song of the universe. Your friend is love itself, wanting you to return to the reality of your being, all love. Saints bowing in the mountains. Do you know how beautiful you are? I think not, my dear. For as you talk of God, I see great parades with wildly colorful bands streaming from your mind and heart, carrying wonderful and secret messages to every corner of this world. I see saints bowing in the mountains hundreds of miles away, to the wonder of sounds that break into light from your most common words. Tell me of all the beloveds the squirrels, the birds, all creation that you already know. Awaken your legion of nightingales. Let them soar wild and free in the sky and begin to sing to God. Let's all begin to sing to God. Do you know how beautiful you are? I think not, my love. Yet every master could set you upon a stage and worship you forever. You are so loved. Do you know how beautiful you are? Is a question that may sound worldly, but it's a different place of beauty. It's when the light is allowed to shine through the material level. When your heart is willing to offer joy, offer peace. And when that joy and peace is being offered, your light gets brighter and brighter. That's the beauty. The beauty of God, the innocence, the peace, the harmony, the gentleness, the honesty. That is the beauty that is within you. Do you know how beautiful you are? Is not a question of a physical attribute, not at all. You could be in a body that has been burned. You could be in a body that has limbs missing. You could be in a body where your speech and your hearing don't function. You could be in a body that looks unlike any other. It absolutely means nothing, the outside, because the light that is coming from within is your true beauty. Your joy, your peace is your beauty. Your compassion is your beauty. Your devotion is your beauty. Imagine your existence without ever thinking again about your physical likes or dislikes. That you can see within a beloved who is homeless, that is on the outside dirty, ragged clothes. What do you see? If you want to see the beauty, it's there. It's the light of that being. That when all of the judgments are dropped from your mind and your habits, you see the beauty. Because it's no longer being veiled by judgment. What is it that holds everyone away from that beauty? It is judgment. And judgment has a double whammy, because every time there is a judgment, there is an element of shame and guilt that come with it. And shame and guilt are a fearful place. Fear of punishment, fear of reprisal, fear of being found out, for the secret thoughts. There's a never-ending supply of fear with judgment. There even comes to the place that you can judge someone with anger, hatred, or it can be couched in just dislike. But once you have judged, it's almost like you have to be looking over your shoulder because you're carrying guilt of condemnation. To truly accept how beautiful you are is to truly accept that no one has done anything. No one has done anything except been lost in fear and pain. To join others in fear and pain has no purpose at all. To hold a divine truth for them and with them, that is the medicine, that is the great gift of your light. Do you know how beautiful you are in the offering of love? There can be no other true beauty. Because when the outside shells have all disappeared, what's left is light. What's left is exquisite, perfect creation. All beautiful, all one. There's a place in this journey, in this world, that you can enter where you are dazzled by the beauty within everything. That is waiting for every beloved in the road back to truth. And the only thing is that you can't take judgment with you. You can't take guilt. You can't take shame. None of it can come with you. It has to all just fall away, fall off. What is the medicine that is the antidote of judgment? I don't know. I don't know answers everything. It isn't words to practice with just for the sake of the words. It is truly that we cannot know. We cannot know what another beloved's journey needs to look like or what they have to use in order to move into their remembering. We cannot know. And in that not knowing, we don't know what anything is for, how to look at it, how to have an opinion about it. There's nothing to have an opinion about. Just following the truth of love and allowing love to lead. Because eventually, the leading of love, you're going to not only meet it, you're going to run into it. It's going to slow down so that you can catch up. But that lead is so essential. Would you, if you were in the jungle and everyone said, you need a guide to go into the jungle, would you say, no, I don't need a guide? I know things. I know my way. If you wanted to get there as quickly and as easily and as fully as possible, you would allow the guide to lead you. You would accept that gift. You would accept that help. The same thing is true of letting God lead. Letting the guides lead you, show you the way. There is nothing more delicious, truly, there is nothing more delicious than seeing yourself as being in first grade, second grade, maybe third grade. But that you see yourself ready to learn from the most basic place. And when you do, all of the fear and the arrogance that is partly fear, it starts to melt away because you're open and you're ready, you're available, and you're not judging yourself with criticism of, I don't want anybody to know I don't know these things already. I want to be spiritually mature. Every beloved begins in the first grade. And going into that place that is the first grade is not just the learning of truth in the sense of teachings. It is by its very nature that you have said yes. You have already learned, with your yes, you've learned devotion. You've entered into devotion that you didn't even know you were entering into. You entered into willingness, maybe for the first time. Willing to learn. What is the fear of not being with it, being advanced? What is the fear that you don't see yourself as advanced? What is the fear of being in first grade? It's all a judgment that somewhere in your identity, in the false identity of separation, one of the secrets that had to be held is, I want to prove my worth, and so I'm going to keep it a secret what I don't know. I'm going to enter everything with I know. This is a place of deep fear. To have to try to hold on to and prove what you know. There is an exquisite place in first grade. It actually sets the stage, sets your journey to have the deepest gifts already within you and activated. Your willingness, your devotion. Devotion is something that the ego ridicules, really ridicules. The ego looks at devotion like you're a fool. You're a fool because you're not more advanced, or you're already beyond devotion. Devotion is for fools. It shows weakness. When you talk about your love and your happiness that you are coming closer to God every day, and that that's all you want, and you don't mention those things in the world because they're foolish. They're not sophisticated. Sophisticated people don't express their devotion. They're too cool. And they know too much. They like to theorize about spiritual things, like how old the earth is, or how old God is, or whatever their ideas are. And the way to love is through love. And devotion is love. And devotion is love that you have been missing. Because devotion to God is devotion to you. When anyone says, I want to learn to love, it's devotion. It's devotion that is the key. It breaks your heart. It breaks the trance. It opens doors. And it is the most precious gift that you can offer to anyone. That you can have relationships within the world, and that those relationships aren't aware of your devotion. They aren't aware that you are devoted to remembering, because it's kept separate. It's kept in a little box, and it kind of, while it's in that little box, it starts to wither because it's not breathing. It's not flowing. And there's an embarrassment that the ego likes to use. I don't want to be too expressive. I don't want to express my heart. I want to keep it my thoughts. If I talk about my spiritual journey, I talk about it in logical terms. Every beloved has to walk through that door at some time and find the devotion, because it is how you learn to love. That every thought that you have, that every waking moment when you wake, that your first realization is, I love you, God. I love you. And you revel in that. Revel in it so that your heart can break. You never felt that devotion in the world. You learned almost immediately, because you came in with an identity, you learned almost immediately, shut it down. Shut it down. There's no one and there's nothing here to be devoted to. There's just survival. But in the spiritual journey, because that's what your heart is longing for, it's longing to return home to the truth of your exquisite identity. And devotion is an essential element, an essential medicine, because it's natural. It's absolutely natural. To be devoted to being kind, to be devoted to being humble, to be devoted to being gentle, to be devoted to being honest, to be devoted to peace, harmony, and joy. Don't allow your devotion to be in a box. Invite it in and learn. It's a learning. It's not something that is remembered. It is something that has been forgotten. And it's a healing in and of itself to surrender the cynicism, surrender the judgment, surrender the opinions, surrender the caution, to surrender everything you thought you were and everything you thought the world was, and open the door of devotion. Would you be offended if all that you did all day was sing mantras or repeat words of love inside, or practice that everyone that you look at, you want to see the light of their purity? That it's so wanted that you want to see the truth of each beloved. With that devotion, a longing gets stirred. Don't be afraid of the longing. The longing is necessary also. It's not a longing because you can't have it. It's a longing because it's an admittance within yourself of, I truly want to come home. And if I keep it closed, if I keep my heart closed and I don't touch into the longing, my heart won't break. And you want your heart to break. The longing helps the breaking. It's what you didn't allow yourself, along with the devotion, you didn't allow yourself to long for your divine magnificence. You didn't allow yourself to long for anything other than fantasies. But this is reality. Touch into the past and let yourself feel every single time that you touched longing and then said, no, I'm not going to touch that. And how you shored yourself up and didn't allow the longing or the devotion to open. But now is the time. Do you know how beautiful you are? Devotion is beautiful. The longing is beautiful. Because when you're longing for the truth, you are admitting that it's real. And that there is nothing on the side of God, nothing on the side of God that is holding you back. There is nothing in God that says,